Great weekend of footy for round 9, MG. It kicked off on Friday night with a beauty, and watching the footy for the rest of the weekend, it was like every other game was in slow motion after watching the Panthers and the Eels go at it in Penrith. A beautiful game.
Yeah, didn't they both bring it? Well done, Parramatta Eels. You came to the foot of the mountains. Not many people, except Jessica May, picked you to win this game. And about 10 people at my gym who I owe a bottle of wine to. You'll get yours next week.
Moldy Cradles?
Yes, always. But yeah, it was just one of them really... It was kind of like the finals had come early. You know, the collisions early between, Moses Leota and Paulo. Paulo was unbelievable for the Eels. And we said that on Thursday or Friday before the game. We said that the forwards will hold each other. Then it's up to the creativity of the back line. Well, Dylan Brown was on fire. He had a fantastic game. So a couple of contentious issues. The kick-out knock-on, which was a knock-on. The Reid Marnie penalty try, I think, could have went either way, but I'm not crying over spilt milk. I think the better team won. I think Parramatta were the better team on the night, and good luck to them. Now they're going to do it 3 or 4 times in a row to really show us that they are premiership, contenders.
Sunday footy, MG, a few concerns for the Storm. Big win over the Dragons, but at a cost potentially. Pappy may be injured there. Have you heard anything about how long he could be on the sidelines for?
Yeah, you're right, Pagey. 42 points to 6, they beat the Dragons, and I shudder to think what the scoreline would have been if Pappy had stayed on the field. He hurt his knee when he got dragged into touch. It looked like it kind of, I don't know what kind of damage it was, but then he chased down a pass and an inside pass to score a try. He had to run 30 or 40 metres, and he kind of twinged his hammy. So they're looking at about a month. So I would say that he would be out of Origin. He'll be out of Origin, which is unfortunate for him because he would have been a walk-up start, I think, for number 14, which leads us on to our... Oh, by the way, the Storm, by winning that game yesterday, they now take over the Roosters of 1935 to have the most points through 9 rounds in the history of the game. They are now on 335 points. The former holders, the Roosters, are on 324. So this Melbourne Storm team, even losing Raymer Smith with a pec, even losing Pappenhausen with a knee and hamstring injury, still get the job done. They're just a phenomenal team.
And drama at Shark Park yesterday. The Sharks down to 11 men at one point against the Warriors, who were horrible.
Yeah, look, I think that was the best club win in the Sharks' history. I think since 1967, since they've been in the competition, for what they did yesterday, yeah, the Warriors weren't good, but the Sharkies were epic. They at first got in, the 17th or 18th minute, Will Kennedy got sent off, and I think it was, we'll listen to that in a second. Then they had Ramey in the sin bin, so they had 11 on 13 at one stage, and the Warriors didn't look like scoring a try. But the Sharkies, they were good. Nico Hines was fantastic. This is how Will Kennedy was dismissed from the field.
It looks reflex, and Walsh is straight up.
It's 10 in the bin.
Minimum.
Yeah, you're off, mate.
He's off! He's sent off! Will Kennedy has been marched. Not 10 minutes.
Oh, I love these commentators to comment on everyday lives. Like, if you get kicked out of the pub. He spilled his drink. He's being marched from the pub.
There's a price for everything. You could pay Dan Ganane to just follow you around all day and commentate your life. I'm sure he'd be up for it.
It'd be more exciting.
I look, was it a send-off? Every day of the week. Every day of the week. For those kids at home who are playing along, back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, that was an instant send-off. When you get someone around the choppers and their feet go from under them, that's the old-fashioned coat hanger, they would call that, and you would be marched from the field immediately. I think Jesse Raymond was also lucky that Will Kennedy had already been sent off because his was almost as bad, and he got sin bin. So, look, the Warriors, let's cut them a little bit of slack because of the fact that they haven't been home for 2.5 years, playing out of a foreign land. When they go back to New Zealand, I think in July, then we can start judging them and their performances. But at the moment, I mean, yeah, look, they couldn't strike a blow yesterday, and you got to feel for them, I reckon. I'm actually feeling sorry for the Warriors because once they get home and play on their home deck, look out.
Music. It means it's time after the 8 o'clock news every day. It's MG's Power Rankings, a top 5 list that can be about absolutely anything. And we mean anything. MG, what have you got for us today, my friend?
Well, if you're playing at home, you'll know that Monday is usually the power rankings are the 5 best players from the round that we just saw, and so today's no different. Today is the top 5 NRL players from round 9.
Let's do it.
Word on the street as well is the players tune in just to see if they've made it on a Monday.
Well, I hope you've tuned in Junior Paulo, because you had an awesome game, my big friend.
My big friend. It's lucky it's a guy. If you said that to a girl, it would be like...
Yeah. You can't say it to a lady.
I
Well
would
done,
never
you
say
big
it to a lady.
champion. The big
When
girl
you win
loves
your
it. She does.
When you win lawn bowls, I always say, "Oh, you big legend, Jess May."
And I'd accept it, Tal.
There you go. Yeah, look, it was billed as the Battle of the West. It was going to be a little bit of an ambush, you would think, but Parramatta played fantastically, and the enforcer for the Eels, who set the foundations for a monumental win, was Junior Paulo.
Sure.
Teddy quickly gave everyone a reality check on just how good he bloody is, whilst also, I think, putting the nail in the Titans' coffin for 2022.
Right they go. Tedesco. Great try. He did it all himself, the captain. That's 3 for the night. He wins. He scored. Great try to the captain.
You do love Teddy when he sees if the Roosters are a bit off the pace. Teddy goes, oh, all right.
I do have to do it.
I'll do it myself. Give me the ball. Try.
Did he have his brothers with him on the weekend?
That was the Travojeviches.
Oh, yeah,
man.
sorry,
They were all
too
playing,
many.
yeah. Don't know. Sorry to Teddy's brother out there if you're
if you were.
an
He might have
accountant
been.
or something.
You might have been celebrating with him. Number 3 was Cam Munster, a perfect example of how to play footy when your contract is nearing an end or you're a wanted man. His price goes up 50k every time he plays. He was just superb yesterday against the Dragons, and here's a little bit of Cam Munster.
Munster, he's done it all today and caps it off with a try, does he? Cam Munster, some kind of performance.
2.
Look, with the Origin picked in 3 weeks, this guy, Nico Hines, probably played his way into the vacant number 14 spot, with Pappenhausen being ruled out from 4 to 6 weeks. I think Nico Hines has snuck ahead of all contenders for the vacant number 14 spot for New South Wales.
Burns away from his man, then gets it to Katoa. Katoa to Hines, puts the foot down. As he chasing, Hines runs away. And the Sharks, just like that,
And
go
Nico.
nearly the length of the field.
1.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. I can't believe the Rabbitohs let this man go.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Adam Reynolds.
Carrigan down the middle. Gets a beautiful offload. Reynolds scores. Adam Reynolds. The moment is his as Adam Reynolds is lapping it up. What a moment.
Do you just sit on your couch like it just gets under your skin, doesn't it? Like when you watch, you just mutter to yourself like an old bloke, like, what were they thinking?
Like Muttley. Remember Muttley? The dog in the wacky races? Well, you're too young for that.
MG's Golden Points. Bluebet 6-point halftime early payout. Available on NRL games this weekend. Bluebet, the true blue Aussie bookie. T's and C's apply. Gamble responsibly.
Round 9 of the NRL done and dusted. Some great matches, MG, but let's kick off your golden points with the most impressive team of the round.
I can't go past Parramatta.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic victory over Penrith last Friday night. They were the team of the round by a mile. They were awesome.
Do you reckon that Parramatta showing themselves that they can play like that is season changing?
It could be. It could be. They've still got a lot of outside backs to come back into the fold, which is good news for the Eels. But they just show that if you roll your sleeves up and your big men go forward and your backs do the hard stuff and set up tries, well, you can, they've got a good team on their hands. They've just got to be consistent now.
Eels v Roosters this weekend up at Magic Round should be a good one. The most disappointing team of round 9.
Look, I've got to say the Titans, Pagey. So much was expected from the Titans, but so little has been delivered. And after coming 8th last year, I truly believe that loss against the Roosters, that's 5 in a row now for the Titans. That's it for them. They can't make the 8, and I don't think they will on the way they're playing. They're just playing like they're strangers, and that's got to be a really concerning for the coach.
Most surprising team of round 9.
Broncos are sitting in 8th position.
Yeah.
And I don't think that many people would have had them in the top 8 before the season was even kicked off. But they, with Katoni Staggs and Adam Reynolds and Payne Haas about to come back, Carrigan's just come back from injury, Flegler's playing great footy, Farnworth in the centres, they are a complete team. They probably need one more superstar in that side to give them a top 4 chance. But I'll tell you what, I love watching them play at the moment. They're a really good team to watch, the Broncos.
Yeah, who would have picked the Broncos to beat Souths, Jess?
Me.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only because you copied me.
Yeah, I know. Well, of course I copy you. You're winning. The biggest issue out of round 9 for the game, MG.
Well, we could go on about bunker inconsistencies, but blah, 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 blah. The bunker, I don't know. I'm kind of loath to even talk about the bunker, so I'm not going to, because it just makes me upset, because it's kind of ruining the game. I think the bunker should be used for tries only, like for tries that maybe a 4-pointer or not. I don't like it being used mid-game all the time. It's just stopping the flow. It's going back. People are taking dives. Players are grabbing their neck every time they get tackled. And there's got to be an investigation. But I think the biggest issue from the weekend was the Kennedy send-off. And I think, as a code, we kind of all agree that, unlike the Tupu incident a couple of weeks ago, this was a send-off. It was the old coat hanger, the old-fashioned coat hanger. And what they did, the Sharkies, after that send-off, they just went better. They got better, unbelievably, against 11 men at one stage, because Ramian was sin-bin. So Sharkies, great win. Kennedy's was the issue from the weekend that we're all talking about today. But
And the player of round 9, I have a funny feeling who this might be.
Adam Reynolds.
Yeah.
Adam Reynolds was my player of the round. He was everywhere, and we're speaking about him ad nauseum for the last few days. So I'll stop, because the South Sydney fans mightn't like the way I'm going about
You
him.
love him. I reckon.
I do. He's a great player.
I reckon you'd adopt him if you could. I reckon you'd have one more and welcome Adam Reynolds.
Have the little
into
fella come into your
yeah.
house.
Meegs, come over.
Come here, mate. Kick a goal for me.
Hey, we've got some listener questions as well. Daniel from Drummoyne says, is Todd Payton the early front runner to be the coach of the year?
Yes, he is. I had this team coming last, Cowboys, and I wasn't on my own. But what they've done in the first 2 games, I think they lost, and we were all going, yep, see, we're right, they're going to come last. But there's been a kind of a metamorphosis taken over at the Cowboys. Their young back rowers are going well. Lukey and Nanai and Chad Townsend, who's in the running for the bye of the year, is going well. Put that together with Val Holmes in the centres, and they've got a complete team. They're going really good, the Cowboys, and the answer is yes, he definitely is, Jessica.
Great. And Janice from Emu Plains, she said, why is Jess so good at tipping? Anyway, side note, Titans announced the signing of Kieran Foran over the weekend. Firstly, was that the right call from Manly to let him go? And secondly, could Foran be the one to unlock David Fafita?
The first part of that question, I think Manly had to let him go, because they had basically made a deal to young Schuster that he'll play 5'8" next year. So that was always going to happen. I think he served the purpose, Kieran Foran, for the Eagles this year and last year. Obviously, he'll be able to make the semi-finals with his team and have one last hurrah. And I think it's a great signing for the Titans. I think he can teach the young halves up there, Toby Sexton, a thing or two. And yes, I think the question is right. They could unlock the key to Fafita. I just think Fafita's not a back rower. He's got too much time to think about what he can do out wide. Get him in the middle and just let him run the ball and get strong and be tough. Simple, really. Footy's a simple game.